Hey, church, this is Josh Young, your Associate Pastor of Connections. As some of you might recall, Pastor Steve challenged us to share God sightings with one another anytime a group of us met. That could be committee meetings, choir practices, Bible studies. And so I thought I'd share with you some of the God sightings that came out of our Connect group meeting this past week. All right, well, where have we seen God at work today?
So I'll go first. Lil and I have been able to do these bicycle rides, and one of the people we pass frequently on our bicycle rides is a neighbor of Steve's and mine, Aida, who's 103 years old. And she was out working in her flower bed. And Llewellyn stopped and talked to her a little bit, and she was saying that she's out there working because she didn't want to go in and watch the news. It's just garbage on news. So it was fun to see her out there at 103 working in her flower bed.
Well, I want to share something. It was just an interesting coronavirus day for me. I was at the Xfinity store. So I'm someone who is not particularly tech savvy. I actually printed out a part of the statement, my last Xfinity statement, to take to the store so that it could help me explain to the folks there what I needed done. And when I got there, you need to wear a mask and you need to stand on the red square that's 6 feet away from the counter. And so I'm trying to explain something I don't understand through a muffled mask, and the person behind the counter at least my perception is they decided I needed something completely different than what I thought I needed. And so I moved forward to show them my receipt, and this very large security guard came and told me that I needed to move back to the red square. And so I was getting frustrated, and I don't do frustration super well. And I just had a moment where, because this is something I've actually been working on that I think I mentioned at our last God sightings. I didn't need this transaction to happen today, and I'm getting frustrated, and I just kind of let the person know, hey, I don't think we're communicating very well. And I moved my mask down a little bit so my lips could actually move, and something triggered. And the guy behind the counter, all of a sudden, he's like, I get what you need. Now I understand. And he just jumped on it. He was my BFF, and he just took care of me. And he was, hey, I bet you want to do this too, and I'm like, that's a God sighting right there.
I'll share that. So I've been kind of keeping a very small world since all of this happened. I live by myself. I have been trying to be super duper cautious about not going places, except for, the grocery store when needed. I try to do curbside as much as possible. I try to stay away from my parents. I've been over to their house like 3 times, 2 times of which I don't think they were there. I had to take care of stuff for them while they were gone. And when I have seen them, I've kept apart. And so I'm just, even when I walk and do my exercise, I stay in the apartment complex and walk around the parking lot. And just this weekend, I kind of was feeling this need to like expand beyond the walls a little bit. I don't want to get in my car and drive anywhere or anything, but I decided to walk around the neighborhood, outside of the gates of my apartment complex. And so I just kind of walked up to, I joked to my mom, I walked all the way to Houston because I walked up Medical Center and crossed the Leaving Webster sign, and did some loops around the neighborhood. So I did that Sunday morning and then yesterday. And it was just so nice to see. I've seen all these people talking about on their walks and bicycle rides, the flowers and the nature they're seeing and all that. And you don't see a lot of that in the apartment complex parking lot. There's some trees and grass, but not a lot. And so it was really nice to see that. And yesterday when I was walking up El Camino towards NASA, I was crossing over the bayou or whatever, and there was a whole bunch of turtles out in the water, just like on the logs and everything that are out there. And it was just so neat to see some bits of nature in what I think of as like this ugly, or not ugly, but not particularly beautiful suburban setting, and just kind of noticing businesses and things that I drive past all the time and don't really pay attention to because I'm in my car. And so it was just a nice kind of like eye-opening, being more aware of my setting, God sighting sort of thing, opening my eyes and nudging me out beyond my my little confined world.